You don't know what you don't know. But that's not an insult, it's a description. We scroll infinitely and build our algorithm brick by brick, yet we can't explain what the feed is optimizing for, or who it benefits most. We think our attention is what's being served, but it's actually what's being sold. We are the product that keeps the lights on, and the product doesn't get a say in the design. Our choices were predicted long before we made them. Your limits aren't natural, they're inherited. Every belief, every cause, every ambition comes pre-packaged with its own set of rules. And if you never question those rules, you get comfortable with the illusion that awareness equals understanding. You start mistaking obedience for comprehension, as if repeating the right words meant you understood their weight. But belief without friction isn't understanding, it's mimicry. And the only way to break that illusion is to interact with it. Video games could be the most honest teachers, because they don't ask for belief, they demand interaction. You don't read how to jump, you don't debate gravity, you test it. You don't argue with the system, you engage with it until you finally understand its rhythm. At least, that's how it used to be. Games used to trust you with the unknown. You fall into the pit, then you would learn to wall jump out. They let you not know and figure it out. But now, we get a glowing marker before we even get a question. The answer appears before the curiosity does. One of the big reasons Valve games are top tier, in my opinion, is the reward they give you for being curious, and at times confused. I did get incinerated in Portal when GLaDOS lets you know there is no cake. But after I went again, I threw that portal to the wall in the far back, and then basically another game started. How unbelievable was that? The ultimate discovery in a game you can beat in less than 3 hours. Genius. Modern design doesn't want you confused. Confusion is dangerous. Confusion sends you to another game. So instead of teaching you through challenge, it preloads the solution. Before you can even wonder, the game is already explaining. God of War 2018 is a masterpiece. But every time Atreus hinted me with what to do, I wanted to feed him to the world snake. And honestly, that's what frustrates me the most. It's like they don't trust you to think. Like the moment you hesitate, they assume you're lost. But that hesitation is the point. It's where learning happens. If you never experience the unknown, you never discover how much you're capable of learning. And when developers protect you from failure, there's no understanding, only consumption. When belief replaces interaction, ignorance starts to look like conviction. And that's the real loss, not the difficulty, not the tutorials, but the quiet death of curiosity. You don't know what you don't know. And when a game refuses to let you find out, it stops being a teacher and becomes just another babysitter for your attention. Games teach through consequence, not conviction. They reveal truth in motion. Everything you believe in has a religion. Everything you fight for has a doctrine. Everything you hope to change already has a brand. Movements, politics, art, self-help, they all come with rituals and languages and the illusion of moral progress. You think you're breaking the system, but sometimes you're just changing its skin. It's the same loop, new UI. That's what ideology does. It rewards loyalty over curiosity. It makes you feel righteous for standing still. And algorithms? They make that righteousness feel like reality. They build you a bubble so big, you mistake it for the whole world. We scroll past miracles every day. 14-year-olds playing guitar like they stole Eddie Van Halen's hands. 13-year-old skateboarders landing tricks in competition that were impossible a decade ago. Artists painting so real they could bring Da Vinci to tears. Extraordinary people didn't disappear. They just got sorted into someone else's feed. We're not lacking talent. We're lacking exposure. We're not limited by ability. We're limited by what the machine thinks we'll like. If we never step beyond our preferences, we never discover the brilliance we didn't even know existed. We should make the algorithm serve our growth, not our comfort. Search something random. Click something that confuses you. Let curiosity hijack the system for once. And I'm not saying there is no time for brain rot. I know and believe we also need it. It's healthy to laugh until your stomach hurts looking at a comment section. But my point is, there's nothing like stumbling into a kind of genius you didn't even know could exist. Algorithms don't reward curiosity, they reward consistency. And consistency feels a lot like certainty. Certainty feels a lot like identity. So before you keep scrolling, consider this. Is the person you think you are just the most convenient version the algorithm keeps feeding you? A costume isn't dangerous because it's fake. It's dangerous because you forget you're wearing it. And the more you perform belonging, the less you question the mechanics underneath. There's a reason third-person games exist. They teach empathy, not the sentimental kind, but the systemic kind. They pull you out of your own head and show you the whole picture. You see your character, your environment, your blind spots. You see cause and effect in real time. That's not just good design, that's good philosophy. Empathy isn't softness, it's clarity. It's the realization that everyone's playing their own game, under different mechanics, different rules, and different stakes. Now, I understand that game mechanics aren't born philosophical, but there's a hidden beauty through how humans internalize them. Third-person perspective wasn't invented to teach empathy. It was invented because early cameras were easier to aim from behind. Combat and platforming needed clarity. Animators wanted to show off the character's movement. Designers needed the player to see where they were going. Function, not philosophy. But then millions of players learned through that view, and we discovered something no one planned for. Third person accidentally trains you to see yourself from the outside. A mechanic built for practicality ended up reshaping how we understand ourselves in a world. And once a tool changes perception, it solidifies an awareness mechanic you carry everywhere, like a patch installing while the console sleeps. Games don't let you hide behind belief. You can't talk your way through a boss fight. You can't manifest your way across a gap. You jump it. You have to engage, fail, adjust, learn. That's what makes them honest. They expose the gap between what you think you know and what you can actually do. Life hides that gap behind ideology. Games make it visible. And once something becomes visible, you can't unsee it. That's where empathy turns inward, because the moment you switch perspective from first person to third, you start to see yourself. You start to recognize the loops you're stuck in, the habits that feel like choices, the ideologies that feel like identity. And once you see the system, you realize you weren't just a player, you were also being played. The system only changes when you do. There's a game for everything. You want to build kingdoms? There's a game for that. Balance economies? Absolutely. Master friendship meters? Yep. And they're surprisingly stressful. Games teach morality by letting you be a villain. Games teach luck by letting you blame it. Games teach power by giving it to you and watching what you do next. Did you also take a cuckoo in Breath of the Wild and threw it into a Hinox, and then watch the swarm of cuckoos absolutely annihilate it? I know I did. That's not in a tutorial. You learn systems by messing with them. Every mechanic is a tiny laboratory where curiosity has consequences. When you play with awareness, you're not passing time, you're practicing life. Failing and trying again, without shame. Exploring without asking permission. Learning not because you were told to, but because you wanted to know. Real learning doesn't happen when you collect facts. It happens when you interact with truth. When you stop memorizing and start experimenting, then winning becomes the result of seeing clearly. You don't know what you don't know, and that's not defeat, that's opportunity. The game isn't out to trick you, it's trying to show you what's hidden. And once you see it, once you step into that third-person view and recognize the system for what it is, you stop worshipping it. You start designing your own. Belief might feel powerful, but understanding is freedom. Thank you for listening. I'll see you on the next one.